Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Okay, cool. We got through it, because at the moment I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be in that moment. Everyone musician at that moment. Drum and Drummer, here we are.
Great.
Bosh.
That was about a 6 out of 10.
It was a
intro
6
for
out
you.
of 10. Yeah.
Usually you shout something, but no,
Yeah.
you just said the name, which is good.
Well, spirit is both low and high at the moment.
Okay.
Low, I'm very, very tired. High, it's Drum and Drummer.
Yeah.
So it's
That's good.
it's a seesaw.
Thank God for this podcast then,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
in a way it saved you today,
Yes.
I'd
Yeah.
say.
Life is a seesaw. Life is a belt. We
Life
discussed
is
that
a
over
belt.
WhatsApp.
That's what I
You know?
said the other day, because I forgot. What is it? What do you call it
A
again?
bell curve. I said sort of a bell curve where,
Yeah.
goes up
Goes
and
up
down
and comes
again.
down.
And you just said life's a belt. And then I tried to shoehorn a metaphor for life in there. Like, it helps keep your trousers up. But when you get fat and bald, strangles you.
Yeah.
I did think as well, trying to fit something in about an asphyxie wank.
Yeah.
Can take you to the edge of pleasure, sometimes too far.
Apparently, do you know how much of pleasure it adds to the orgasm? I think it's like 1.5. It adds about 150% of
Okay.
pleasure, which, as Norm MacDonald said, the risk reward in that.
Do you mean 50%?
I'd
So add
probably mean
50%.
50%. I'm saying
Yeah,
if you've
add
got
50.
100% and then you add another,
You add another
50,
50%, of course.
but you could just say 50%.
Yeah.
But then that feels like half. It feels like half as good somehow.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
you
not.
could go, it adds 50%, or it is an 150% wank.
Yeah. Well, because is 150% allowed as a thing?
Well,
Footballers always say it. They go, "Yeah, I'll give it 150%."
yeah.
know?
Well, no, this is the thing. See, everyone always says 110%,
Yeah, they do.
and I think, well, that's not that much over, is it?
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you're gonna break those mathematical rules,
Yeah.
go a bit more.
Don't be surprised that you haven't got the Ballon d'Or if
Yeah.
you're only giving 110%. You
Yeah.
know, when Harry Kane's doing 117.
Yeah.
He hasn't won it yet, but people are saying he should.
Could be his year. If we win the
Could
World
be his
Cup,
year,
could be his
you
year.
know? But he'll never win a trophy though. He's somehow cursed.
Although he's won several at Bayern Munich. So
Well, yeah, exactly. But
win an English one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to go over there.
Yeah.
Get your trophies. It's like something. Anyway, let's move on.
Brilliant.
Right.
Let's start with the correspondence.
We'll start with the correspondence. George, do you want to read it or shall I read it?
Have you got it up?
I've got it up ready.
Right, well, I can give an intro. So
Give
I'll
an
just
intro,
say,
please.
every week, we end our podcast with a little bit of a throwback to what we've spoken about. Say we talked about beans on toast and, losing your keys or something like, Drum and Drummer, email in, have you ever lost your keys in some beans on toast or something like that? It would just be like mental, very specific stories.
Yeah.
And we never get any emails in.
Oh, we get fuck all.
We get fuck all.
We get fuck all.
And I was starting to give up, to be honest. And then, lo and behold, an email came up. I mean, it was niche. It was even for us. It was a niche story that we.
I mean, it was those requests, for a slightly humorous purposes, are very niche.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I talked about last week blocking a toilet on school French exchange. With a thunderous poo.
Yeah.
And so it was, like a throwback, like, oh, have you ever,
Has that ever happened to you? Yeah.
have you had a poo problem abroad? Those sorts of things. It's not general. Oh, what's your favourite colour? None of that.
Fuck off.
Ooh, have you written a book about addiction?
Favorite drumsticks.
Who
cares?
Yeah,
Who cares?
yeah. Who cares? Ever done a shit abroad?
Yeah.
That's stayed with you for life.
Yeah.
Because mine was 27 years ago. It's still there in the memory bank.
Still there.
I remember that more than my niece's birthday. I can't remember when that is.
No.
But I know very much about the poo that broke the French sewage system. Should we do it?
Yeah, you read it out if you want.
Okay. So this is Brian Locke. Brian Locke's been in touch. It's a good name, actually.
Great name.
Spelt with Brian, spelt with a Y as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is that an indication of where someone's from.
Maybe.
It's obviously Brian Adams.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, Brian Locke. What would his job be?
Right, let's not get sidetracked because we've got a lot to talk about.
So, I mean, the title of the email is "You Asked for This."
Yeah.
And boy, did we. But boy, has Brian Locke responded in kind. Okay, get ready. Strap yourselves in.
Also,
yeah,
probably a locksmith.
Would probably
job-wise.
be the right job for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, nominative determinism. You know. No, he needs to partner up with someone called like Terry Key.
I thought you were going to say Smith, Terry Smith, you know.
Well, you know, Lock and Key, crime fighting duo.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Anyway, right. Hi, both. As a teenager, I used to go skiing with my school every Christmas. Austria, France, somewhere freezing, and it was always absolute carnage. Straight off, posh school.
Mm.
You know, going skiing every year. We did it for a couple of years, and there was a little gang of us that got closer year after year through those trips. How lovely. One year, we ended up in a hotel where some rooms had ensuite toilets and some didn't. Word quickly spread amongst the lads. If anyone needed a dump, be decent and let them use your room. That is true friendship.
Yeah.
You know. One afternoon, one of the boys, Owain Hughes,
Before you ask, no, I don't.
thank you, burst into our room announcing something along the lines of, I ain't shit here since I left home. In he went to a chorus of jokes about whether he'd remembered the air freshener. Well, Owain Hughes
Before you ask, no, I don't.
proceeded to birth an absolute monster. A few moments later, he shouted, boys, come and look at this. Naturally, we all piled into the bathroom, in tears laughing, and the noise quickly attracted more and more lads from nearby rooms to come and witness this beast for themselves. Then, for reasons still unknown to mankind, one of the boys, Mikey, named him, name and shame, decided it would be a brilliant idea to fish this behemoth out of the toilet and place it onto the lid of a Quality Street tin.
Brilliant.
To our horror and absolute hysterics, he somehow managed it. I'd love to know what he used. Is he bare hand in that?
Yeah.
Or some sort of net? Anyway. It was at that precise moment our PE teacher, Mr. Salem, burst into the room yelling, what's all this racket? We watched in stunned silence as Mikey instantly sprinted across the room, launched himself onto the balcony, and hurled this mega zeppelin of a turd from the 4th floor out into the alpine universe. We laughed, we sighed with relief, we thought we'd got away with it. Our barbaric behaviour had been successfully concealed. Until the next morning, while waiting to get on a bus, Mikey spotted it half buried in a snowdrift, dug it out, and somehow convinced us to play rugby with it.
Amazing.
Been with you both since the very first pod. Keep up the good work. Brian, thank you so much. What a delight of an email to
brilliant.
receive. And, you know, life's been a bit hard this last few weeks. So that was a lovely bit of welcome, like relief.
Yeah.
And actually, I was, at the point you sent that, I was just running through some songs in the studio on the kit for a gig. We had to learn some extra songs. I'll just have a playthrough. And I was like, you know, playing through, don't stop believing. Bing. Oh, there's an email to Drum and Drummer Pod. What's this? Right. Pause the music. I'm reading this now.
Absolutely.
You know?
And because you sent me a message saying, and lo and behold, I can't remember what you said. The shit story comes in the post or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. What did I say? And lo, the turd email doth cometh in the inbox.
Yeah. And but I didn't know what you were on about originally, you know. And then I checked my emails and went, that's fantastic. That is great. And thanks for being there from the beginning. That's even better, you know.
Yeah, lovely stuff. And I don't think I'll ever look at a Quality Street tin the same way ever again.
It reminded me, while we were reading out that fantastic story, of I remember being in school once, and I can't remember the kid's name, but he was having a poo, and I can't remember how it happened. I don't know if he'd left the door open or something was going on, or he was crying in there, or something attracted the attention of other people, and then word spread instantly. It's like, oh, Billy's trying to do a poo and it's not happening, or something like that. And before we know it, everyone left the playground, just went into the boys' toilets. And in my memory, there was about 50 boys. Like, it was rammed in there. And he was just crying on the toilet. And someone finally was like, what's up? and he just screamed, "It's halfway in and halfway out," you know. And I thought, that poor guy. Not only is he having, like, imagine how traumatizing that is. He's probably in reception year 1 or something. I remember him being younger than us, and I was year 3 or something, you know. And just you can't complete splashdown mission, you know. So anyway, that's quite enough of that. But yeah.
So Brian, thanks very much for your email. George, festivals. Let's talk festivals, shall we?
Let's talk festivals.
What you been doing, boy?
There's been a few. So it's begun with the Lainey Wilson lot. I mean, I'll go through them. First was 2 weeks ago, on a Thursday. Let's remind myself where I was. I know it was called.
You're so arrogant now. I was just so many gigs. Can't remember all these festivals.
I never do the phrase that people do where they're like, "Oh, I'm so busy, man. I'm so busy," but I can't remember where I was. Buckle and Boots, because they're all called something like that. It was
Beer
Thursday.
And trucks.
Yeah, exactly. All sorts of things like that. Chicken
Trump
wings
and racism. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Far right wing.
Rock, flag and eagle, baby. Rock, flag and eagle.
Exactly. But yeah, so the first one was a Thursday at a festival, and I think it was like the first time they'd done a Thursday. So it's just us and the Luke Combs, UK, who were like the Luke Combs, good one. I got to meet my friend Dave O'Dart.
Question: you might not know the answer. Does the Luke Combs tribute in his name? Does he accent the U and the K, like to make it like?
Oh no, but that would be bloody good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, pass that on next time you see him.
I'll tell him that. Yeah, because that is good.
That is good. That's what I do. So
yeah. I'll tell him.
Yeah.
I'll try and get 10% for you.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Of all future earnings.
Yeah, absolutely. And
whatever.
They're doing all right. But I chatted to Dave, the drummer. Lovely lad, lovely man. And yeah, it was a very fun festival. Although I did get lost. No, I didn't get lost. I sort of lost everyone. After the gig, my phone died. Everyone disappeared. It's almost like they were running away from me. And so I didn't have anything on me. And
happened at the next festival as well.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. It wasn't great. But managed to find everyone. And then I think they
ran away again. I mean
that Thursday we were meant to have 3 gigs on the trot, but the Friday got cancelled. So what did we do? I think we came back that night. Or did we stay? No, we stayed. Yeah, that was it. We stayed on the Thursday up north somewhere, in a really nice hotel. I remember talking to Chris being like, this feels excessive for the gig we've done. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're playing a little country festival.
Did the festival sort that out for you?
No, this is Ben, you know.
This is all Ben,
but it was like a hotel with a golf course.
$12,500 a year.
A swimming pool, yeah. And we had a lovely breakfast.
Did you go swimming?
No, I didn't. I didn't bring my shorts, but a lot of the hotels we stay at do have pools, so I think I do need to start doing it.
Always bring your shorts.
But afterwards, we went back, got back late, and then next morning woke up and then went to another festival. I think it was Summer in Nashville. Now, we're doing a lot of these festivals, and they're quite good. I could be wrong on the name. I'm not sure. But it was a wake-up call that I need to, when it says, bring breakables, you're like, okay, bring as much as you can. Because it was sort of like I was playing, and, it was tough,
So did you just bring cymbal, snare, and pedal?
And, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I remembered instantly from last year that I'd bring everything, stool, stands, whatever, maybe even, no, that would be about it. But
because breakables is traditionally cymbal, snare, and pedal.
Yeah.
And I've very much got burnt with Auction Thief at festivals.
Yeah.
You turn out, you're like, can't work with this. I cannot work with these stands.
Literally.
This stool is rubbish. When you get like those stools where you have to unscrew something and then take it out the hole.
Yeah.
And just the height, screw it in, and they're like pencil thin.
Yeah.
And you're like, this ain't giving me any good, I can't get it right.
No, exactly.
So I quickly learned, bring all hardware.
Bring all hardware.
Absolutely.
And that's a top tip if you're a drummer who's, doing their first run of festivals, and you just bring as much as you can, because even like, if you got all your cymbals on stands, then you can just take them on the stage and then take the other cymbal stands off, rather than faffing about with heights and whatever. I've just had a look at the pictures. I do remember this festival now. It was great because we turned up and before we were on, in another tent, there was a chicken wing eating contest. And I was like, I am all over that. You know, I'd never seen one before. And it was all to do with heat. So it was like hot ones, but like ridiculous. And I think we were on at 6:30 and we had to start setting up at 6, you know, half-hour changeover time. And the chicken wing contest was 5 till 6. And I said, does anyone want to go? You know, and Milos was like, yeah, I'm up for that. You know, and we went and watched.
Of course he was.
And
we know Milos.
We were having,
you know,
and I know him. There's one man that loves a chicken wing eating contest, you know. So we went to the wing eating contest and it was great. People were struggling, you know, and it just got worse and worse. And people were like sweating, red face. And if you drink some milk or touch a tissue, then you're disqualified. And it got to like 10 to 6. And, you know, there was, from the 13 that began, there was like 4 left. I was like, I really want to see how this ends, but we have to go to our stage now and play. And as we were leaving, one guy got up and then just vomited so hard, you know. And I deliberately didn't look, but Milos was like, that was the reddest vomit I've ever seen. I was like, that is awful. Sorry if you're listening and you're not a fan of vomit. But anyway, we went to the stage.
Were the competitors just people like pundits at the festival?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So you could, if you go into the festival, you could choose to compete, and they weren't like pro.
No. And then I think the winning prize was like 100 quid bar tab, or I don't know, something like that. So, you know, if you were,
I'll have £100 worth of milk, please.
Yeah. Literally.
We haven't got any milk.
So the gig itself, the gig was great because it felt like, oh, okay, we really know what we're doing now. And I think from doing the tour that wasn't a tour with Zach, and that was like a chance to really like play every night, you know. We were saying like last year our first gigs were festivals, but this year it's like we've done I don't know how many shows before we start that, and also that is the only gig. We're not then playing for another guy, you know. So it's like, oh, brilliant. It's just that, and then when we end, you know. But it was really lovely because it was like we played the gig, and then afterwards we all had something to eat, and it was like a social eats. It was called like social eats something. I don't know. So all the food vendors were great. I had an amazing pizza, and then I had like this cinnamon roll. It was warm with ice cream, and it had like Kinder Bueno and shit on it.
Whoa,
so this is amazing. I'll send you a picture right now. Actually,
yeah.
This will be right up your street. Oh, it's already there.
It's bueno.
But that was that festival. So then it was like, okay, this is good. We're ready. We're gig ready. So then this weekend,
like you've put some hours in on stage. You put some stage hours in. You're refined. You're raring to go. Now you're hitting the festivals.
Yeah.
Bosh.
Yeah.
You're in. You're locked in.
Exactly. I'll let you have
Whoa! Look at that. Fuck me. Christ.
Yeah.
I'd love one of them right now.
I think it was the best dessert I've ever had.
That is great, mate.
I'll put it on the gram.
Yeah.
But then over the weekend, so we were going to play rodeos, you know, the famous rodeos. But then last minute they said, someone said, oh, can you do this festival instead? And we were like, okay, cool, we'll do that. We turned up. Our hopes weren't high when we turned up because the stage was an inflatable stage, which I've never seen before. You know?
Okay.
So it was almost, as in like the bit you stand on isn't inflatable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a water
Bouncy
bed.
castle. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the bit, you know, the stage part was just blow up, like playing on a big bouncy castle. And so we weren't feeling like, oh, this is going to be good, you know. And once again, I'd left in a rush because we had to leave early, and I thought, so I couldn't get to my studio. And once again, I didn't take my stands, and I was like, fuck. And it was like a wake-up call, you know, because the stool may as well have been on the floor, you know, and then the stands were just so shit, and I was sat there like, you know, they're like, George, can you do some drums on the sound check? Just missed the first snare, because I'm like trying to, you know, hit high. But then the gig itself was quite nice, you know, it's like there's a lot of kids there. And they're all sort of I don't know. They all seemed really into it. There's like a lot of kids that seem to like Lainey Wilson. So yeah, that was good. Let's get to the gig on Sunday.
I do like when you're doing this Lainey Wilson UK tribute, right?
Yeah.
Like a whole show dedicated to her music.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on this,
Mm.
but you still seem sort of surprised people know who she is.
Yeah.
Yet you are in a UK tribute. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, totally.
You know, you're doing it. Yeah.
I think it's like, it's because, but it's a weird one because it's like, just because I haven't heard of her doesn't mean other people haven't.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think it's also like, I don't know, like the Luke Combs one and the other ones, like an Oasis tribute, you're like, well, yeah, of course that's going to work. But this is a bit more like, And something
niche. It is niche.
It is niche. But that's why it works well, because I've got some gigs with an ABBA tribute later in the year, bloody tributes all over the place. And I was asking them, I was like, oh, how are you doing gig-wise? You know, they're like, we haven't got much because it's like there's so many ABBA tributes, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they'll message all the festivals and be like, look, we've already got one. And also there's like 10 other people that have asked, you know? So, you know, that's that.
Yeah, we've already booked Baba. You know, like
exactly.
Barb, you know.
But yeah, so anyway, the gig itself was great. It was like everything was just perfect. We turned up. It was in Nottingham. Big stage.
Yeah, heard of that.
Kit was great. Our in-ears were great. The sun was shining. And it felt like we had more of a crowd this time. Do you know what I mean? And it was just one of those gigs where it just nothing went wrong, or there was nothing I'd change. You know, you leave the stage, you're like, oh, that was spot on. There was, you know, and it makes you play better, you know, when you've got, you know, a big crowd. And it was just nice. I think we was thinking like last year we were sort of all new to it, and you know, we weren't playing to tracks and we were only just knew the songs really. But this year it's like we've got our set dialed in, so we just get on stage. Once everything's, you know, click and whatever in your ears, you're like, right, let's go, you know. And there's no part of the set where anyone's unsure. And also it's nice because we only played for 45 minutes, so it's really like condense every bit and just pack it in. No. But yeah, it was great. And but the coolest thing is, purely from an ego point of view, is they're big screens, you know, big TV screens. And when I was watching the first band, they kept going to the drummer. And I spoke to someone afterwards, and they were like, oh yeah, like they kept focusing on you for some reason. Like I was on the camera quite a lot. And I was like, that's cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like one of those sort of dream things to happen. Because you always, you know, you go to a big gig and you can see the band on the screen. You're like, fuck, you know, I want to do that. And I think there was one picture I saw afterwards where it was like, it was taken from really far back. And you can kind of just see I'm like a little spot. And you're like, oh, that's literally like the goal. That's what I've always wanted. So it's very exciting. But what's nice now is it's like, are we in June? It's June. And we've kind of...
where's that come from?
I know. I know. But it's nice because it's like we've done a few and now it's like, okay, you know, let's go. Let's do this. And we're doing the same festival in Chichester, which will be nice because I'm invited, like, you know, my parents down and stuff. And like a few mates. Tyler Todd's coming, you know. And it'll just be really cool.
Tyler Todd.
Because it's just like, you know, it's like by then, that was late July. It's like it'll be locked in and great. But yeah, it's cool. It's all going well. But it's unknown because you never know what they're going to be like when you turn up. And that's why I think I'd always prefer to do these than like wedding gigs, you know, not putting them down, but it's kind of like, it's still sort of, I think when you start doing anything, you know, wedding gigs, when I was like, this is great. Wow, we get food, you know. Oh, cool. Mr. Brightside, I love that song, you know. And then, as you know, it gets to the point where you're like, And so I'm still in that, like, it's exciting to do these, you know. So, yeah, it's great. But it is getting busy, you know. It is getting kind of like, right, have we all got our diaries in check? Because, you know, like, I'd never wish it away, but there is a part of me that's like, kind of want it to be October, and it's all like, okay, cool, we got through it, you know. Because at the moment I'm like, you know,
yeah, we'll be in that moment. Everyone musician at that moment.
Yeah. Have I missed something? Am I going to get a text from Neil at 5 p.m? Hey man, are you not at the venue yet? Oh my God, I missed the Wonder Year gig, you know. But
a lot of that's because you're normally like I am with the weddings. You're working on a gig sort of 4 weeks away, 3 weeks away. That's when you get the details and you're thinking about logistics and doing that. But you've also got 3 more to do before that.
Yeah.
And 1 tomorrow that you just, so you're constantly on this thing.
Yeah.
And when you're in that system, then before you know it, it is October and you're like, oh, I wish I had some money.
Yeah, and now I'm bored, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. That's what I miss. But there was one I was trying to work out because there's a few days in this year where I've got like double gigs. So we've got like a double gig with Laney. So we're doing a festival in like Dorset and then doing one in Devon like immediately afterwards. But then I've also got one where I'm playing a festival on the 11th of July with them at like 3:00, and then I've got a function like an hour and a half down, and it's like I can do it because Chris did it. It was he had a function in Dorking and we were playing in Nottingham, and he had to go from the gig at 4 p.m. to get to Dorking for 5 p.m. and it's like a 3-hour drive. Obviously, ridiculously late. But there is this thing of like, how much can I pack in? You know, like I was saying to you yesterday, it was like, we're doing Isle of Wight Festival, which is very cool, and I got the timings through for these ABBA tributes I'm doing, and we're playing, it was like ABBA tributes. Stay with me, listeners. It's ABBA. It was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And my friend Jacob messaged me. He was like, "Oh, can you do them?" And I said, "Well, look, I'm playing Isle of Wight Festival on the Sunday, but I can do Monday and Tuesday." He's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then I got sent through the timings for the ABBA gig, and the one on Sunday is at 2:45 a.m. Monday morning. So I was like, "Oh, well, I can do the Isle of Wight Festival if it's in the day." But then we got the timing through for the Isle of Wight Festival and we finish at midnight. So I was like, well, this is just mental. So I'd message Jacob like, hey, I can probably do it. And then I was like, oh no, I can't, you know. But there is that thing, I think at the moment where I'm like, see how many I can do. But I have depped out my first gig. It's I think June the 13th, because it's just it doesn't. It's near enough.
Which band is that you've only depth?
Rising Gravity, the one with Mark Smith and Ben Y and Megan on sax. But it's like, it may as well be Land's End, you know? And then the following day I got a gig in Cambridge with the Laney lot, and we're on at like 1. And I was trying to work out, like, can I do this? You know, like, can I? But every way I did it, like, Jimmy described it as like some of our gig planning as like when you do like an impossible puzzle or something, you know. And Chris described it as like, try and draw a house on a piece of paper, but you can't take your pen off the paper. Like, that's how it feels with some of the logistics, you know. So I was going, well, if I'm in Land's End, I'll pop through my parents on the way through because it's such a long way. I was like, if I stay at theirs that night, that's like a 3-hour drive. But then I've got like a 4-hour drive to get to to go to Crawley, to then go to Cambridge. I was like, that's mental. Okay, what if I drive from Land's End to Brighton? Okay, that'll take like 4.5, 5 hours, you know. I was like, okay, no way I do this is going to make sense. So I've depped it out. It's like the one gig I've gone, no, I'd rather not die. But other than that, it's like, cool, let's see what I can do, you know.
You know, and no offense, you're not quite at helicopter stage.
No, exactly. Well, joking aside, that's exactly it. Because if I had a tour bus and a driver, you could do that, you know.
Yeah,
but
you could indeed.
But it's just me. But yeah,
just me and the golf.
Exactly. Anything else? Because this
Not
was
really
me talking at you this week, you know.
No, I mean, talking of like driving logistics, I mean, I've just had like, we've just done our own impossible puzzle this weekend. Yeah. So we got Mum booked in for the care home, booked in to start her stay on Monday morning. But we had to get through the weekend.
Yeah.
And that involved a sort of gig in Winchester on the Saturday, which was like we had acoustic add-on as well. So we had to be there at 2.
Yeah.
And then, so we had to look through the logistics. And so basically like my wife and then because the Monday, it was like, yeah, get her in the care home Monday morning. And I got home and I was like, Right, Monday, got a wedding in Taunton in Somerset, and I'm hiring a van booked for the exact time. I need to take Mum to the care home. Right, okay. So we were really like logistics, right? So Friday, we're like, right, Friday we can stay. Then I'm going to go home. My wife's going to stay over. And I'm going to call my auntie who lives in Dover.
Right.
Right. She's now getting the 6:30 train in the morning, going to London, then down to Portsmouth. So she's going to look after Mum while we're doing the gig. And then we'll sleep in Sunday, and then Phoebe will relieve my auntie of her duties so she can go back to Dover. I'm recording all day in the studio on Sunday. So then I'll go round and we'll have dinner. And then because we're driving to Taunton, and I'll be driving back from Taunton from midnight to 3 a.m., I need some sleep, and my mum is not letting people sleep at the moment. So I will go home Sunday night and sleep. Then Monday, right, I'll call the van hire place. I'll see if I can get the van earlier. Okay, I'll go and book that for 9 a.m. Right, I'll go get the van. My wife will help my mum pack. I'll get the van. She'll then bring my mum to our house. We'll leave the van at my house. Then we'll all go to the care home, drop it off, back home, load the van, meet the other guys, pick Neil up on the way. Head to Taunton, do a gig, drive. Like, it's been it's been crazy.
But it always works out, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It works out if you give it a bit of thought.
You give it a bit of thought. I was
a couple of little stories.
Oh yeah,
right?
go on.
You know, there's what we got. All right, so I was in the van hire place, right, waiting. They checked me in, just waiting for them to bring the van around, and there was someone in there, right, and there's sometimes like, you know, when you just see people and you're like, what? What are you doing? Like, what? Come on.
Yeah.
And the first thing was, one of the staff was on the phone to someone, and I could just hear them do it. And they were like, oh, you were meant to bring the car back on Saturday, but you didn't bring it back. It's Monday. Like, what's going on? And you're like, I mean, they just didn't bring the car back.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, do people just do that? Are people just, I'm so worried about, you know, I've got to be back by 9, you know, I make sure. So I was like, fuck, I'll do it on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other one, there was this like middle-aged woman. She was at the desk, and basically she'd had a prang with a hire car. She'd like bumped into someone or whatever. I don't know the full extent of it. But anyway, then her mate came in, and they were just, I mean, the bullshit that was coming out of their mouths, right? And I'm sat there tight-lipped, and a friend was like, oh, you know, no, you said didn't you say to me the reverse camera wasn't working, like the reverse camera? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I like it had splashed up water from puddles, and it was fucking heat wave, love.
Yeah,
it's just been a fucking heat wave. Yeah. Like it's been 30 degrees for a week.
Also, if you need a camera to reverse, don't drive.
Exactly. I was thinking, what puddles, right? And then they were like, oh, and you said as well, like the reverse beeper didn't work either. You know, it normally goes beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
And that wasn't working.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I had it once, you know. And I'm like, you got eyes though, haven't you?
Just look.
Do you know what I mean? You must have been driving before this technology existed.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you're a shit driver.
Yeah.
You bumped into someone, you had an accident, own up, pay the excess and fuck off.
Exactly.
Excuse, fucking own up.
Yeah.
Come on.
And this is a message to anyone listening. If you need beepers to reverse, just get a bike. Do you know what I mean? Walk.
My friend's wife borrowed my friend's car and just put an absolute crunch down the side of it years ago. And he was like, well, what, you know, didn't you use your mirrors? Oh, I don't use my mirrors. What?
Yeah. That's
why there's a big dent on the side of the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't use your mirrors? You're having a laugh? Yeah. You got eyes though, haven't you?
I'll tell you what, speaking of forgetting things, I realised the other day, my car hadn't been taxed since February. I was just, and what's annoying is this is the second time it's happened. So I lived in Brighton. I mean, I'm always Brighton or Hove, but lived in Brighton. Then I moved to somewhere else in Brighton, and I changed my address on everything. This was last year, apart from my logbook, which is how the tax comes through. And the logbook, there's no emailing with a logbook. It's just all paper. I mean, there's probably a way you can change it, but the way I've done it is just you just get a little letter and it just says, hey, don't forget to pay your tax, and then you pay your tax. But the letter was going to my old address, and then I actually got the debt. Did I tell you this? Debt collectors phoned me, and they were like, yeah, you owe us. We've been trying to you know, send a letter. I was like, send a fucking email then. You know, if you haven't got hold of me, fucking, what is it? You know, it's 2025. Just, you know. So anyway, but he was like, this is how much you pay. And I was like, yeah, fine, I'll pay it now. So I paid it. Now, when I moved to the place I am now, I was like, right, I need to make sure I change my address on everything. And I thought I did, right? Because I was like, well, I've done it for the car thing, you know? But somehow the logbook is like a separate thing, and that's the only thing that you get a reminder. You know, I don't... MOT, insurance, it was all fine. Every part of my address, everything was at the new address. And then I was like, I don't feel like I paid tax in a while. So I just looked it up, and it was like...
Any tax?
Yeah.
I mean... Sure, I'm earning $12,500 a year, but I don't know if I...
It's all
the funny thing, George, I mean,
yeah,
my car tax just direct debit. It just renews.
Yeah,
I
see, I'm not. I didn't do that. So, but then there was this thing of like, and I hope no tax man is listening. Not that a tax man is a person, you know.
Maybe Brian Locke's a tax man.
Maybe. Please turn it down for this bit, please, Brian Locke. But I was like, well, do I then pay the tax that I missed from February till May? And there wasn't an option to do it, so nah. But I found this out as we were going to somewhere up north, and I parked my car at Georgie's and went, oh my God, am I going to get clamped when I get back? But thankfully, Ben knows a guy that can remove car clamps, so didn't have to worry about that.
Of course he does.
If indeed
that guy also earns $12,500 a year.
Listeners, you know, email in, be like Brian Locke, and send us a brilliant email, which makes our day.
We love them. Keep them coming.
Have you played a festival and your stands are too low? Have they been too high? What's your favourite dessert you've had at a festival? What's your favourite meal you've had at a festival in general? Have you ever taken part in a chicken wing eating contest? Many things.
Yes. So many things.
Or
so many
in
linchpins
general, you know?
Episodes you can get in touch with.
Yeah.
Have you ever vomited red?
Yeah.
You know?
Great. Yeah.
Have you ever drunk £100 worth of milk?
Mm.
I've been close. Anyway,
After a big
George,
bag of buttons, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with that dessert you just sent me, pint of
milk.
Pint of Cravendale with that. Oh, now you're talking. I'm getting wet in multiple places. Right. Thanks very much. drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. For emails at drumanddrummerpodcast on Instagram, drumcharts.co.uk. George, pleasure as always.
Pleasure as always.
And I'll just sign off with this. I love your jacket. See you next week.
Right, see ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.